Nacho Varga, the man who couldn't leave. Think about the last time you were somewhere you didn't want to be. Not inconvenienced, trapped, doing something that violated something in you and having no clean way out. Now imagine that lasting for years. That's Nacho Varga. Not the violence, not the cartel.
The old guy? What, did he break your hip or something?
The specific experience of being genuinely good at something you genuinely hate and being unable to stop. And what kept him trapped wasn't fear for his own life. It was love for his father, a man who ran an honest upholstery shop and had no idea what his son had become. That's a different kind of cage. What happens when your intelligence only works inside the trap? How does love become leverage when the wrong person discovers it? And what does the final choice mean? The only one he ever got to make freely. Trapped competence. To understand Nacho, you have to understand the trap. What happens to someone who is intelligent, strategic, and capable when all of those strengths get locked inside something they want to leave?
Can I take a look? Looks like a school bus for 6-year-old pimps. I'll make sure the boys at the chop shop are real gentle with her.
Every time Nacho solves a problem for the cartel, he becomes more valuable to it. Every time he succeeds, he makes himself harder to replace. And every time he becomes harder to replace, the chances of leaving get smaller. Think about how cruel that is. The very thing that should have freed him, his intelligence, is the thing keeping him trapped. He's too useful, too capable. The cartel doesn't let people like Nacho walk away because people like Nacho are rare, and Nacho knows it. He understands exactly what's happening. He can see that every success extends his sentence. Have you ever been good at something that kept you somewhere you didn't want to be? A job you never planned to stay in. A role people depended on you to fill.
That sounds like a you problem.
No, I think it's very much an us problem.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to take my chances, but good luck to you.
A situation where your competence became the reason nobody wanted to let you go. That's Nacho's entire life. His intelligence was supposed to go somewhere else, not into cartel logistics, not into survival, into something honest, something his father could be proud of. But one bad decision became another, and before he realized it, the exit had disappeared behind him. The cruelest version of being trapped is being trapped by the thing you're best at. Nacho wasn't weak. He wasn't stupid. He was the most capable person in his world. And his capability was the reason he couldn't leave. The cage was built from his own capability. The father. Here's where the story becomes personal. Ask yourself this: is there someone in your life whose safety you would never gamble with? Someone whose well-being matters more to you than your own?
You coming here threatening my family? Huh? Guess you're gonna need a bigger stick, old man.
For Nacho, that person was his father, Manuel Varga, an honest man living an honest life. And that's exactly why he became leverage. When Gus Fring needs control over Nacho, he doesn't threaten Nacho. He threatens Manuel, because Gus understands something important. Fear for your own life can eventually be accepted. People can decide they're willing to die. But fear for someone you love works differently, especially when that person has done nothing wrong. The thing that makes Nacho extraordinary isn't his intelligence. It's his love for his father, because that love never changes, no matter what happens, no matter how desperate things become. And once Gus discovers it, Nacho's choices stop being entirely his own. From that point forward, every decision is filtered through one question: will my father be safe?
Can I make the call now?
Think about the person in your life who could be used against you this way. The person whose safety would make you comply with almost anything. That's not weakness, that's love. But in the wrong hands, love becomes control. The people who are hardest to manipulate are the people who have nothing to lose. The easiest people to manipulate are often the people who love someone deeply. Nacho loved his father more than he feared anyone in the cartel, and that's why they could never truly let him go. Gus didn't need Nacho's fear. He had something better. He had Manuel. The love was the leverage. The exit. And now we get to the final scene, the one that explains everything. By season 6, every path is closed. The Salamancas want him dead. Gus wants him controlled. Every option has disappeared. Then Nacho does something unexpected. He turns himself in, not because he's giving up. Because he's making the last choice available to him. Before anyone can kill him, he speaks. He tells the Salamancas he acted alone. He takes responsibility. He protects his father. And most importantly, he makes sure the danger dies with him. Everything he says serves one purpose: keeping Manuel safe, even now, even at the very end. His final act is still for his father. Then he does something the cartel never expected. He takes control. He refuses to let anyone else decide how his story ends. And before they can take that choice away from him, he takes it himself. Then comes the line that defines the entire character. "I know what I am, but I'm not what you made me." That's the heart of Nacho Varga.
Lo que quiero. Respeto.
The trap was real. The leverage was real. The cage was real. But they never fully changed him. That's what he's saying. You can force someone into a situation. You can control their choices, you can trap them. But there's still a question underneath all of that. Who are they? Really? And Nacho's answer is simple. Not this. Not what the cartel wanted him to become. Not what the circumstances tried to turn him into. The last free choice he had, he used to tell the truth about himself. He chose the terms. That was everything. What Nacho shows us. Most people will never face circumstances as extreme as Nacho's, but the shape of his story is everywhere. Being good at something that keeps you stuck, loving someone who becomes your vulnerability, looking for exits that never seem to open.
Hey, you did good today, huh? Tomorrow I'll show you around.
Trying to hold on to yourself while the world asks you to become something else. That's not a cartel story. That's a human story. What makes Nacho remarkable isn't that he escaped. He didn't. It's that he never fully became the thing that trapped him. For 6 seasons, the world around him kept trying to define him. A criminal, a cartel soldier, a tool, an asset. And every season he resisted. Not perfectly, not heroically, just consistently.
Got anything stronger?
In the bar, bottom shelf.
He kept trying to get back to something honest. And that's why his ending matters. Because even though he loses almost everything, he keeps the one thing he was protecting the entire time: himself. Conclusion. Nacho never made it back to his father's shop. He never got the clean ending he wanted. He never got the life he imagined. But he did get one thing: the final choice, the ability to decide who he was before anyone else could decide for him. His intelligence built the cage that trapped him.
Adentro en la cocina.
His love for his father became the leverage used against him. And in the end, when every other option disappeared, he chose the terms of his own story. That's why Nacho Varga remains one of the most tragic characters in Better Call Saul. Not because he failed, because he spent years trapped inside a world trying to reshape him and never completely surrendered to it. The cartel controlled his circumstances. It never controlled his identity. And sometimes that's the only victory available. Comment "trapped" below. I read every one.